Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Soul Synergy Experience podcast. I'm excited to talk to you about the theme of the month. Before we dive into the theme, I would like to just invite you to attend my workshop on releasing creative blocks through hypnosis. It is a free event. You are free to attend. Please visit my website, Camy.com, to register there. I also would like to announce that I have meditations on Insight Timer app. You can follow me there, Camy, and access meditation audios in different themes so you can explore and awaken your divine nature. So as you know, I am about to self-publish an oracle deck called Soul Synergy Oracle Deck. Every month, I am bringing a theme based on what I've been creating. And if you would like, you can follow my Instagram, soul.synergy.oracle. And you can check what I've been doing, how is my work in progress developing. The theme of the month is self-love. And we can bring some reflection today and how this applies to you and how you can make decisions that are supporting and beneficial to your well-being. So this process of practicing self-love enables us to reconnect to the source of infinite goodness within, and then we become able to share its powers with others. When we start to learn how we create safety within, that is not tied to anything external, when we learn what nourishes us, what nourishes our mind, our body, and our soul, when we learn how to create this inner space of nourishment, we can invite others to share the awareness of love, rather than expecting them to give to us something we lack. When we need to practice self-love, we have deviated from the path of being the awareness of love. We are seeking love outside. Let's think about some examples in our lives when we are seeking love outside. We are seeking love outside when we try to please others, and it's a way of manipulation, because when we are trying to please others to gain love, we are acting in a way where we expect something from others, and that, by definition, is a manipulation. It's not that we are freely giving and expecting nothing in return and allowing people to be who they are. We are doing something because we expect something. We have a hidden agenda, right? The agenda of the ego. So let's go back to when we are trying to please others, attend other people's needs, be there for everybody, be the savior. But we feel tired, exhausted, our body's aching, or our minds are clouded and distracted. We start to be forgetful. We are not taking care of our bodies. We are not being mindful about our choices. We are eating too much, or we are allowing problems or the issues or the burdens of others to take up space in our lives. And then we feel defeated. We are in some way harming ourselves. So I'm bringing the idea that we cannot give love. We can only share the love that is already within us. I think when we talk in these terms, we are letting go of this idea that love is a transaction. I give you and then I receive. If we are in tune with this universal love that resides within us, we can share with others. But when we are not in tune with this universal love, we can't share it becomes transactional. Our relationships, our relations become transactional. We expect something. And this also applies to when we feel that people took something from us. People took our energy, people took our love, people stole something from us. Nothing can be stolen from you if you are in tune with who you truly are. If you are in tune with your inner light or your Buddha nature, the Christ within you, your true center of peace and wisdom. There's no circumstance or challenge in your life that can deplete you. The only way you can feel depleted, it is if you build your life on something that is fragile, which usually is on the external, or if you put your faith on things that are impermanent. So the practice of self-love allows us to go inwards and find the inner strength. And from this inner light, from this inner strength, act and express ourselves in the world. There is an interesting idea and concept in the book of A Course in Miracles, that is the idea of special love. Romantic love is portrayed as a source of happiness, emotional security, and I'm not saying that this type of love is not meaningful and important. What I'm saying is that so often we put so much expectation, or we put so much energy into this special love, that at some point this special love becomes limiting to us and becomes limited to our growth, because our capacity to love is infinite. And when we channel this love in a way that is limited, we might experience some type of pain or suffering or confusion. Love wants to flow. The more we share, the more love expands in us. So how can we see romantic relationships has one channel to express the expansion of love, has one way to expand the awareness of love within us, rather than being the only source? This is what causes so much confusion. It causes attachment issues and insecurities or anxiety when the source of love, one, is outside, and second, it comes from one source. One person is the most important. That person is special, but that other person is not special. When I started reading more about this in the book, A Course in Miracles, it really expanded my awareness of how much potential we have to express love, and sometimes we just limit ourselves. So when we start to practice, we become aware that we are the source of love, and our sense of worth is not attached, is not linked to how other people see us or how they treat us. Our sense of worth it's linked to how we feel about ourselves. Our sense of worth is actually unchangeable. It doesn't change. But in a world where the ego is dictating the rules, we think that our sense of worth is linked to a job title, a career, relationship status, a financial situation, how you dress, the car you drive. Our sense of value is so often attached to what happens externally. What I'm trying to say is not that we are going to neglect ourselves and reject that we are in the body. We do need security. We do need to wear good clothing. We need to be safe. We need to live in good conditions. I'm just saying that when we are operating through the ego, it becomes an obsession, and it becomes the only thing we see. It becomes the only thing we put our attention. It becomes the only focus. It becomes the only reason, or it becomes the only source of fulfillment. We put so much attention that it becomes disproportional. We create an imbalance. When we are then seeking love externally, or seeking a sense of fulfillment externally outside of us, we become beggars of love. We become beggars of love because love will not come from outside. Until we understand that, we are begging love from others. We are begging attention. We are craving intimacy because we are not intimate with ourselves. So in this process, our only function is to remove the barriers that block the awareness of love. In this process, we can start to identify what are the blocks. What is blocking the awareness of love in our lives? I would like to bring some questions and reflections that can help you remove these barriers. First question is, ask yourself, am I giving power to something external to feel good about myself? Am I giving power to something external to feel good about myself? And how is this affecting me? How can I provide peace and comfort to myself? What nourishes my mind, body, and soul? And knowing this practice of self-love, practicing self-love, we are taking the responsibility for caring for ourselves, respecting and giving validation and nurturing and releasing what is not providing comfort, health, well-being, inner peace. What is harming you? What is harmful to you? Recently, I was working with a client, and she came saying how she feels in her body. She said, I feel bruised, I feel hurt. So as soon as we started working on, she started to connect with her deep sense of self, with her intuition, with her worth, with her authentic self. And one thing that she started to implement is to say no in a graceful way, to say, no, I cannot be there, but I will be there for you in this day or in this way. And she started to create this, space of safety for herself and really being authentic instead of trying to be there for everyone. And she started to implement these changes and be there for herself first, so she can be a presence to others. And her eyes started to shine. Every time she was talking about the changes and the miracles that are happening in her life since she started to do this work, she started to feel free and connected. And suddenly, everything started to come together in her life. It wasn't by doing it, as she was doing before, trying to fix everything, trying to desperately find a solution. The solutions and the miracles start to come once she aligned, once there was a unified goal. And I would say that this unified goal for her was, I want to be at peace with myself. I want to be connected to my divine self, to my true self. From there, things start to change. So I believe that when we need self-love, we probably are engaging in behaviors, thought patterns that are harmful to ourselves and consequently will harm others. So the practice of self-love is necessary. I invite you to take some notes and see where you are in this process of giving to yourself what nourishes you, what brings hope to you. I am in this creative process, and I already wrote half of the cards for the oracle, and I still need to paint half of the cards and write half of the cards. Actually, less than half. And for some reason, I realized that the reason that I was not actually getting to a good rhythm lately was because I was allowing the issues in my life, the challenges and the problems of my life to take up space. So they would take the whole day or days, and I would be trying to fix them, trying to organize them, losing my energy, losing my hope. And once I realized, oh wow, I am allowing all my problems to take up space. This is not self-love at all. Because actually what nourishes me is to be working on my creative projects. What nourishes me is to be walking in nature. And when all my issues and problems are taking up space, I'm not doing anything. Now, what shifted was that I don't need to try to fix my problems from the sense of desperation, from a sense of lack. I can solve them step by step. I can take the steps to solve them, but they don't need to be my whole reality. They don't need to be my whole day. They don't need to take up space. And then as I was, reflecting more and more, I realized that other things were taking up space in my life, and I did not have the inspiration. I was losing my inspiration to work on my project because, I feel that I'm a sensitive person, and if I don't say no, to people and situations, I get lost. I get completely lost. And once I realized what was draining me or what was taking my inspiration out, once I realized what was taking up space, I was able to take the action to honor myself and say, that's the limit. That's the limit. I will protect my own sense of peace and well-being, and I cannot move in this way. I cannot keep going this way. I cannot keep going in this way because it's not going to be sustainable for me. So my invitation is, what is not being sustainable for you? What's harming you? What's draining you? Really reflect on what self-love means to you. Thank you for being here today. I would like to invite you to visit my website, lucamy.com. I have openings for new clients in June if you would like to book hypnotherapy sessions. And if you would like to donate to my campaign to self-publish the Oracle deck, please check the link in the description of this podcast. If you like it, please share it with your friends. Happy June for you, and see you next time.